If you're frustrated with the workplace, you're not alone. There's a lot of people that feel the same way that you do. But I got some bad news for you. Careers aren't fair, and it's time to get over it. Hey everybody, it's Brian from A Life After Layoff, and today I want to talk about careers. And let's face it, most people find careers to be extremely frustrating because there's no real rule book and people go about it blindly. And even if you follow some sort of code or guideline of ethics, there's no guaranteeing that the people around you will do the same thing. So you're kind of on your own and at the mercy of fate to a degree. But I'm actually here to tell you that you can take control and ownership in your career. I actually created a free weekly newsletter if you're interested in learning how to take control and act like the CEO of your career. So you should make sure that you sign up for it. But in this video, I want to talk through why careers are unfair and why it's time for you to probably get over it. So one thing has become perfectly clear and obvious to me in my time doing this channel, posting on LinkedIn, doing Twitter, doing TikTok, all of these social media channels that I spend my time on. There is a palpable sense of frustration for a majority of people. And this goes across all industries, all job types, all levels in an organization, and it doesn't matter where you're located. And trust me, I've had career coaching sessions with people who lived in I think it's like 35 different countries at this point in time, all over the globe on every single continent. And the consistent message that I'm hearing is that employment and careers is broken no matter where you go. So what it boils down to is that you're probably going to get screwed no matter where you go. Companies will try to underpay you. They are always looking for ways to save on money. Labor costs one of them. The reality is a business is in business to make money. The lower the cost, the more revenue they can earn, the more profitable they are, the more happy the owners and the shareholders are. So there's an inevitable conflict of employees trying to earn the most money in their career and employers trying to keep wages as low as possible while keeping productivity as high as possible. So that's certainly a cause of the frustration that a lot of people are feeling across the globe. They will also try to cut your benefits. I don't know a single company who has enriched their benefits over the course of the last 10 years. It seems like every year that goes by, benefits costs go up and coverages go down. The fact of the matter is that most companies look for ways to try to cut costs, and they do it in the form of creative benefits. Unlimited vacation is one of them. I've talked about that in another video, and I recently posted about that on my LinkedIn. So if you're interested in my take on that, make sure you check those ones out. And companies will overwork you, and while they're doing that, they're going to cut the resources that they're providing you. You're likely not going to have the things that you need, and the requests will go on deaf ears for that upgraded computer equipment or that additional software that you need to be successful, because that stuff all costs money. And a lot of companies will make any excuse they can to wrangle a little bit more productivity out of you. So therefore, they won't listen to your gripes. And in fact, if you gripe too much, you'll end up getting your name put on a list somewhere. Probably won't be a good outcome for you in the long term. And you're going to bust your butt all year long trying to impress your boss, trying to get ahead in the organization. And sure enough, when performance appraisal time rolls around, you're still going to get your meets expectations no matter how much effort you put in. And with that meets expectation, you can expect your 2% raise while the rest of the world is experiencing 7 to 10% inflation. That means you're actually getting paid less to do the same exact job that you did last year with less resources. But we do this all because we think we're going to get promoted, but not so fast, because when it's time to give out the promotion, it's probably not going to go to you. That's right. It's going to go to the owner's nephew who didn't do a damn thing to earn that promotion. And you're just going to have to suck it up because you need the job to pay your bills. And when the nephew gets promoted, that's going to leave a spot open in the cube next to you. And guess what? The dude that they just hired, who's now sitting in that job, who is only 1 or 2 years out of school, and of course, the company's not going to make you whole. They just are going to hope and pray that you don't talk about your salary to your coworkers. But they'll certainly reward your years of loyalty with an additional week of vacation and a little service plaque. And if you're lucky, you might get a crystal candy dish that you can take home with your name engraved on it. And put a cherry on top of that loyalty and all that sacrifice of working those weekends and nights and answering the phone on your vacation will be rewarded with, that's right, a layoff. Don't complain about your 1 week of pay for every year you've dedicated to the company, because that's better than most people get. But make sure you sign the paper that says you won't talk about your severance to anybody else, because then they'll realize that they didn't get any. Now, of course, this video is a bit of tongue-in-cheek satire, so take it for what it's worth. But that's the reality for a lot of people in the workplace. And the way you're treated in your career just isn't fair. And this is why at the end of the day, you have to look out for yourself first and foremost, because nobody else is going to do it for you. And the way I see it is, if you find yourself very frustrated with the working world, you have three choices. The first choice is you can start your own business. When you start your own business, you're the ultimate CEO of your career because you make all the rules. And the second option is you can continue doing what you're doing, you can suck it up, and you can complain on internet forums about how terrible everything is in the workplace. And all it's going to get you is more frustration and the same poor result. Or the third option is you can learn the rules of the game and start playing them to your advantage. Because even though it can seem chaotic and random, there are ways that you can reclaim your power and start to make decisions based on the authority that you're the CEO of your career. I talk about being a free agent. This is the same concept. If you're somebody that's sending off resume after resume and getting rejected and getting frustrated and telling everybody that it's the recruiter's fault, it's the hiring manager's fault, it's the HR person's fault, it's the company's fault, or the same thing goes with interviewing. You're going through these interview processes and you get rejected and it's always somebody else's fault. That's an indicator to me that you haven't truly mastered the game. The reality is that it is stacked against the average employee, but companies look at hiring in particular and careers probably broader as business decisions. Let's face it, you're surrounded by humans doing human stuff. So there are people in positions of power that have personalities, that have biases, that have things that you can't control. But what you can control is how you behave in your career, and how you address it will determine what the outcome is that you'll have in your career long term. And if you keep on getting rejected for jobs that you're reasonably qualified for, it's almost always a resume issue. So figure out how to write the resume yourself. Stop trying to outsource it to other people. Stop trying to be hands off, because here's the deal. There isn't a shortcut out there. Taking authority back in your career can be uncomfortable. It can be painful. It can be difficult. It can be hard work. But at the end of the day, if you value yourself, it is absolutely worth it. So it's crucial for your career to learn how to write that resume, to learn how companies approach hiring and how they make hiring decisions, and to learn how to market yourself the most effectively so that you're ultimately the one in the driver's seat in the interview process. And in fact, probably the most important skill that I would learn is how to network myself properly, because building the right targeted audiences will unlock more opportunities than anything else combined. And of course, approaching your career with a high degree of strategy. So all of these components all play a part in somebody taking back control in their career and starting to act like the CEO. So yes, careers are absolutely unfair. It's stacked against you, but no amount of screaming on top of a mountain is going to make any difference. The only thing that will is learning how to play the game and learning how to play it to your advantage. But I know this is a little bit of a rant, but I think it was an important one, and I know that a lot of people feel the same way. Anyway, as always, appreciate you watching. We'll see you on the next one.